Hey, what's up? I wanted to hop on here real quick because I had a thought. I see a lot doing comedy for like the last, I don't know, since I was in the fourth grade. And I'll probably tell that story about like how I started with comedy if y'all care about that. But since I've started comedy and really since I've been an older person and kind of really just had the full context of what life is and what comedy is and doing comedy is, I hear a lot of people say like, how can people have this view of comedians, and I think it's because of our access to celebrities and idols and popular figures because of Instagram, TikTok, podcasts, and like the way we consume celebrity is very personal now. Like I think the term is what is it, bro? It's like I think it's intrapersonal relationship. Let me look that up real quick. Yeah, definitely. Interpersonal relationships with like social media figures and famous people. I think that has given us this false sense of ideation on what an actual comedian goes through. Like we think that if you're a comedian, then you just do this. Because you hear a lot of people on podcasts go, a comedian's mind is like, and that's a very general statement. And you can't take that and run with it. And because for example, me, before I get on the show, before I perform, if I'm in a green room or if the place doesn't have a green room and it's just the area that the comedians are in, whatever it is, I've been in all type of situations. I'm not the social, hey, how you doing? What's going on? Hey, everybody, y'all. I speak to people before, if it's before a show, I'm locked in. Because I'm trying to make sure that whoever paid me to be there is getting their money's worth. The people who paid to be there getting their money's worth. Whether I'm getting paid or not, but I do way less free shows than I used to. But whoever, even if people have shows, even if people are not paying to come to the show, they're coming to laugh, they're coming to be entertained, and I don't know who's in the audience, and I want people to come back because I'm trying to build a community, and saying fan base is weird, but I guess that's what it is. But I really just want to build a community with people who enjoy what I say and what I do, and I do this comedy shit to be funny and to entertain. So before a show, I have to lock in. And I get anxious and I get kind of like tunnel vision, and if I spend all my time trying to chat everybody in the green room, I'm not gonna do my best, because I've done that before where like it was a period of time where I killed so much consecutively that I was just like, oh, I don't need to be nervous before a show. I can come in here and just talk shit to everybody and be like, what's happening, then shaking hands, laughing with people, and I would go up there and bomb. So I was like, bro, I can't do that shit no more. And there have been times where I can go in and talk to people, and it was just my night and it worked. But on average, I have to be locked in, know what I'm gonna say, and leave room open for other thoughts to come in my head. Kind of watch the crowd. I'm not gonna give my secrets away, but I need to be locked in at a certain point, so I don't talk, or I try not to talk before a comedy show. And I've been around where people felt like I was being antisocial, but then like after I get off stage, everything is calmed down, and that's when I feel more comfortable to go and talk to people. But there are some comedians who they're always on, like Topic 2. But I was thinking of Pratt. It's a comedian from Shreveport. It's like Hot Topic. But both of them, I'll use both of them. Hot Topic and Pratt. Both of them, every time you talk to them, they're saying something funny. I'm naturally funny, but these guys are always on. Like, always. I wish I was like that. Like, I don't know how they was in high school, but I assume that they was like the class clown. I wasn't a class clown. Nigga, I barely spoke until 11th grade is when I really got out of my shell as far as just like being a social person. Like, usually I was quiet until you got to know me, and then you can see that I might say some slick shit, some funny shit. But people had this misconception because of these podcasts and shit. I've heard Bert Kreischer and other people say, like, when they say the word like civilians and shit like that, like, bro, comedians are so different. Like, we share some commonalities, but I really think the main commonality is you're funny and you wanna make people laugh. You dig? That's the only thing. The how you interact with the world, that's not necessarily a specific comedian thing. Like, we might hear the same shit, we might see the joke coming, or we might see the joke in real life because that's how our brain works. But it's not like we always looking for the funniest thing to say at every given moment. It's some people like that. You got your Mark Normans of the world who everything is the joke. He's so dedicated to the craft, and it might be something on the spectrum, or it just might be something in his brain where he's always looking for the joke and always looking for the punchline. But I think a lot of that comes from just always being in his craft, and the craft is way more important than anything else in life, even though he has a family and shit like that. And I think that's something that we also share too. I think, like, the real artist comedians, like, there's a lot of comedians that just want to be funny on stage and make careers out of this shit, but I think there are some people who are just artists with this shit, and we all are always looking for the funny, but how we interact with the world is it can be different. And saying all that to say, like, I hear a lot of people say shit like, how are you a comedian and you don't like a joke? Or how are you a comedian and you take offense to something that I said because I meant it as a joke? You got to stop thinking, y'all, people, whoever you are, please stop thinking that all comedians are, we all champion free speech. We all champion free speech. But what does that mean? Free speech does not mean that you can say anything that you want to and that there are no repercussions. Even with, like, the comedians that's mad at YouTube for having certain censors and shit like that. These are companies that have shareholders and advertisers. They have to make their money. They don't give a fuck about your freedom of speech. You can say what you want, but what you say has consequences, whether it's legal or illegal. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't go to certain places and say certain things. You can't go to neighborhoods that I'm from and that my family's from and say certain things, and they're not even on no street shit, just on some respect shit. You can't go in my mama's house and sit on her couch and not speak to everybody in the house that's looked at as being disrespectful. It's like, if I pay bills here and this is my house and you come in and you don't speak, that's disrespectful. They might not be disrespectful in your house, but you had a freedom to do that if you come over there, if somebody let you in the door. But there's repercussions behind that. Like, it's a lot of people I know that talk shit on the internet. I get people in my comments all the time that say crazy shit to me because they think I'm not gonna respond, or they think there's a veneer with a lot of this internet shit, and I think that plays a part into it too. Where, like, the people with the interpersonal relationships, these people have these weirdly contextual relationships where it's like, when I'm on my phone, when I look at Joe Rogan, just throwing somebody's name out there, when I look at Joe Rogan or Joe Budden or whoever, fucking I Show Speed, Casanet, when I look at these people on my phone, I know they're human, but I also it also doesn't register as a human. Like, in these comments, this ain't real, but it is real at the same time. And when we say shit and we listen to shit, we're gonna take the information and apply it to our lives differently. Like, when Bert Kreischer said that, when he talks about comedians as if they're like this different class of people that just walk the earth like spirits, like, and call other people civilians as if we're in war or some shit. To some people, they know what he's trying to say, and to other people, it's like, yeah, comedians are this unique class of people that some are. You got Eddie Murphy, Dave Chappelle, George Carlin, people that take the art form to a artistic, even with shit jokes, take it to, they're saying something or doing something that's, and they may not even be doing nothing that's crazy, but they're just lauded as the top people. Because like Eddie Murphy didn't really say anything on stage that was like profound. He was just funny. The way he was thinking about the jokes and telling the jokes was profound, but his thoughts weren't like deep like how George Carlin or Dave Chappelle would get on stage and tell some shit, pussy, and fart jokes, and then go into some eloquent ideation or explanation of how they see the world or the realities of the world or whatever. Comedy doesn't have to be that, but there are people that just go up there and tell fart jokes, and they're hailed as the greatest too. But treating all comedians as if they're this is a mistake. And I hear it on both sides. I hear it on the right and the left, that people look at comedians that maybe speak on social justice or social issues and use their voice to bring light to things, like a Josh Johnson may say stuff, and then we look at him and we treat him as if he should be president, right? And then you got people like Joe Rogan, well, not even necessarily Joe, because I don't really think he necessarily, but kind of, yeah. He'll speak on shit and give his view, and then Tony will give his view, and these other people give their views on shit, and it may be the opposite of a Josh Johnson. And we'll take that and make it something else. And we'll put it above and be like, yeah, this guy speaks for me. And I think when a comedian has a point of view, but it's funny, the most important thing is that it's funny. If you have a point of view and you want to speak truth to power on whatever side, that's cool too, because everybody has that perspective. But when we as a consumer, or y'all as a consumer, me too, because I consume comedy content as well, but what we have to do is be careful about what the intent is and how we view other people that are also comedians. Don't listen to somebody on these podcasts tell you that all comedians are just, usually when they're saying comedians, they're not talking about everybody that get on stage and tell jokes. When motherfuckers say, man, comedians are just different, man. Not everybody. I know a lot of motherfuckers that get up there and say some crazy shit and get booked for shows and can probably go on tour, but they not saying nothing. And they probably not saying shit that they actually believe, because you also got to think about it too. A lot of the shit that be funny is not the truth. It's not correct. It's not factual. It's just funny to say. I say a bunch of fucked up shit all the time in conversation with people when I'm joking, but it's funny because they know and I know that I don't mean what I'm saying. I'm just being funny. But there are some people who think being the bully is funny too. So like when people, there was an argument, I think Louis C.K., I didn't see the full interview, but I saw a clip where he was talking about how people say you shouldn't punch down. He's like, you should, because it's funny. I agree. But then I saw a comment that was saying like it's funny, and he may have said this too, but basically the overall point is punching down isn't funny because being mean in itself is funny. But it's funny because we don't mean this shit, and it's so absurd to say this shit. That's what makes it funny. Sometimes like saying the absurd thing is the joke. Like, I don't mean this shit, but it'd be funny if somebody said this if it didn't hurt anybody. You know what I'm saying? But you can't use that as an excuse. Like, if you're gonna go with the punching down and saying the crazy shit, this is the other problem with it. If you are a provocative comedian, or you want to be a provocative comedian, these people that, like, it's such a good thing to, I mean, not a good thing, it's such a big thing now to shit on Austin comics, which I'm gonna make another video about, like, Austin comedy as a whole. But the short version is, somebody remind me to make this video if I don't. The short version is, Austin comedy by itself doesn't stink. Austin comedy by itself is not bad. Leah Sampson put, I think it's Leah Sampson. Let me get this girl name right. I feel bad. I don't think I've ever said her name out loud, but I read it all the time. We've had conversations. 1 second. Give me a second, gang. Yeah, Leah Sampson. So Leah Sampson made a post that said, "Don't go to." Let me read it verbatim. Let me not. Austin is the worst. Shit. Austin is the worst place for comedy. Do not move there or think you need Austin to be successful in comedy. And anyone that wants to ban, quote unquote, ban or whatever, for me saying this, kiss my hemorrhoids. I'm a star, bitch. Her words, not mine. But look, Austin is the worst place for comedy. I disagree with that. It's not the worst. They say that because the narrative is whatever Joe Rogan and Tony Hinchcliffe and a lot of guys that is popular to hate right now got going on is trash or bad or negative in some way. That's what Austin comedy is. Let me tell you, as somebody that's been in comedy and has performed in Austin every day for months, every day, and I'm not talking about open mics, shows every day, have messages from clubs in Austin asking me if I'm in town, can I come back? Can you come be on the show? I don't say that to gloat. That is for contextual purposes to let you know that I'm not bullshitting, and to also let you know that I actually am funny, despite what you may think or whatever the fuck. Austin comedy, the Austin comedy scene is not bad because of that. What makes it bad, what the bad parts about it, it's not overall bad. The bad parts about it for somebody that's actually trying to do comedy is the amount of people there who are trying to do comedy for the first time, for the first few months or years, who have no idea what comedy is, what stand-up comedy is, don't understand it, and it's an influx of them. It's always going to be new people trying to do comedy. In Shreveport, there's new people every day that I meet at these open mics. I go to these shows and people come up to me, they thinking that they enjoyed themselves, and they really just like, I want to do comedy too. Like, I meet people every time I perform in Shreveport, the place that I live, new people I've never seen before in this small city. So it's always going to be new people. But when you have what happened with Joe Rogan building a club out there and bringing all these famous people, and him having the success that he's had already that allowed him to just move and open up a club and be able to lose money. And not really lose money, but he's not like... You can't do that, what Joe Rogan did, without millions of dollars to throw away. You're making millions of dollars a month, if not a day, if not a year. You know what I'm saying? That brings there was like 300 people every Monday for Kill Tony and the Comedy Mothership open mic. There's like hundreds of people that either come from Dallas, Houston, Arkansas, whatever, every week, plus the people that move down there. And I was supposed to move down there 3 years before I actually got out there. I was trying to get out there before all of that shit happened, but I wanted to go, and I knew it could possibly change my life, and it has in many ways. But anyway, the point is, that's what could give it a bad experience, because you got a bunch of people from different places that may not have proper social skills, don't understand how to talk to people, feel like I was talking about earlier, feel like they always have to say the craziest shit to be funny, but they don't understand that it may only just be funny to them, or they come from high school where like it's funny if you the guy in high school in the gym that's saying dick jokes or almost saying the N-word to black people or whatever, like, oh look, I'm doing something bad, isn't that funny? Like, they think that that's everybody's cup of tea, and they get out there and you're talking to all these different people, and some of these people are homeless. Some of these people have mental issues, and they're just functionally insane. Dead ass. I've had conversations with people, and I thought that was cool because I only see them in passing them, and we'll speak because we recognize their faces, and they start talking. I'm like, oh, you should be locked the fuck up. You crazy as shit. But that's out there, and every day they be out in the street, nigga. I got cool with actual literal homeless people that would sit under the bridge. These niggas would live under the bridge. That was the only free parking for a long time by 6th Street. We would park under that bridge, and if it was too close to a certain time, like on Friday or Saturday, it'd be packed. So if you get out there too late, you have circle around under the bridge in the parking spaces trying to find a parking space, and there'll be a homeless man who'll get up, see your car, and because he hoping that you give him money or a cigarette or a lighter because he helped you park. And I'm telling you, these niggas was efficient. Like, dead ass. These motherfuckers was cold at that shit. Like, so that's a good part about it. But, like, the bad parts are just, like, there's crazy people. There is an influx of crazy people. The economy is fucked up because it's cheap if you're coming from New York or L.A., but if you're coming from Shreveport, it's kind of like, it's not a full plateau, but it's kind of like this. The expenses is like this. So it's not as expensive as LA or New York, but it's way more expensive than some place like Shreveport, right? Or like Milwaukee or some shit like that. I assume. I don't know. But I would assume like places like that would be, the cost of living would be cheaper. And it's on the rise because a lot of people move. They did what Joe Rogan has done. They're rich. And they get this cheap land, and it's going on the way up, and it's a college town, and it's got this and this, but it could use some more. And I can buy all this land. And Tesla, there's a Tesla factory. One of my homies I used to stay with, Matt Sargent, another comedian. Shout out to Matt, bro. Shout out to Matt and Garrett, Matt Sargent and Garrett Tim. Matt was working at the Tesla factory. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he was working at the Tesla factory before I got out there. But, like, there's a lot of shit out there, and there's a lot of people buying into the city and raising the prices, and there's a lot of gentrification going on. Like, there's a place, if you're from Shreveport, you know about Highland. And in Highland, it's like half the projects, it's part projects, part white hood, part black hood, part hipster, and part rich. So like one street, like my brother stayed on the street, and it's like damn near the hood, but because there'll be like quad plexes in there, and you on the outside looking in, if you weren't from the city, you would think that it's only niggas that stayed there because it looked like the hood. But the funny thing about Louisiana, specifically Shreveport and Blanchard and Bossier, is you can go to the hood, but it's white people that stay in the hood too. And like you'll go to trailer parks, and it's niggas that stay in the trailer parks too. And I'm talking about like it's like Shreveport is like this amalgamation of like country, hood, and rich, all in the same. Like it'll be in the same neighborhood. So Highland, like one street, it'll look like the hood, but white and black people stay there, and different types of white and black people, like hood black people, hipster black and white people, and they all stay in different units in the quadruplex. It's crazy. The next street over is this beautiful mansion. Down the street, up the street, there's a beautiful mansion that my homie who owned a bar had his wedding reception at, or his wedding and the reception at. And down the street is the projects. Down the street. Normally, in most places, in most cities, it's like the hood over here, then the rich neighborhood over here. We got that too, but like Cedar Grove is like that. Highland is like that. Pines Road, where the club is like that. Like the social economics is weird here, but anyway. I forgot what my point is, but overall, like as far as like Austin being bad, Austin is not bad. Austin is not a bad place to do comedy. It's not the worst place for comedy. I would say Shreveport is the worst. Let me take that back. Shreveport is not the worst for comedy, but Shreveport is worse for comedy than Austin as far as if you're going to go and do comedy. Like, here's the pros and cons. With a place like Shreveport, and you can ask any Shreveport comedian, Shreveport makes you feel like you ain't shit until you go do a show somewhere else. I started doing comedy in this motherfucking city in the 4th grade. My first show outside of the city was with Drew Nickens like 10 years ago at College Station. Went up before Drew headline. From what I remember, I crushed that shit. And I'm young in comedy. You know what I'm saying? A few years after that, and I've done shows since then outside of the city, obviously, but my partner Clyde, me and Clyde used to or still do, but there was a couple years where like we would go everywhere. So like we go to Shreveport make you feel like you ain't shit, but then you go to Dallas and kill. Because Shreveport is just like, it make you tough. It's like having a coach that's hard on you. You feel like your coach don't fuck with you until you go and play a game and you like, oh, who I'm playing against? The number 2 ranked team, but we dogging them. It's like that. Like if you play football and your facility trash, ain't nobody nice to you. You ain't got no receptionists. You ain't got no cheerleaders. You don't even have no intro music. You don't have nobody cheering in the stands. Your parents don't come to the games. And you feel like shit. And then the higher ranked schools with the Chick-fil-A in the cafeteria, you got cheerleaders, fine ass cheerleaders. You got 30 staff, coaching staff. You got all the training equipment, the newest thing. You got Gatorade machines and shit. And it's the Gatorade without all the bullshit in it that you don't get from Circle K. But then them two teams play, and you played in shit your whole life. You go and play these niggas who had everything that you could possibly imagine. What happened? Them niggas getting dogged because you got a monster inside of you, and that's what it's like in Shreveport to do comedy. But it's not comfortable. It make you want to quit. It make you feel like you ain't shit because people will tell you, oh, I see you doing your thing, but they're not going to come to your shows. They going to support you because they see you do shows with Miss Pat, got Tori, Rodney Perry, Bruh Man from the Fifth Floor, all people I've done shows with. They see the posters and the flyers and then see you go to Austin and all these other places and do this, that, and the third. And they be like, man, congratulations, brother. I see you doing your thing. Never buy a ticket. But they see you in the streets. Man, I got to come to your club, bro. I got to come to one of your shows. So that's the type of shit you deal with in Shreveport. It make you tough. It make you want to quit. And if you do quit, you probably quit. But it's tough, man. But you need that shit. Austin is a different type of hard now. I don't know how it was before, but now the biggest issue is just dealing with the Kill Tony fan. Well, not the fans, because the fans be cool. Because the fans just want to see comedy, bro. If you go to Austin, you can produce some shows on 6th Street. If you can get a bar, you can produce some shows. If you work hard enough, you can get some people in damn near every day. Shout out to Jake Stone. Them guys down there doing a lot. But what's the what's the hardest shit about it, or the worst shit about it is dealing with, if you a seasoned comic, dealing with, like, if you go from doing a bunch of shows and a few open mics, the open mics down there can be rough because a lot of times it's not that many people. It's way more comedians. Imagine going to an open mic where it's 90 comedians. No bullshit. 90 comedians. No bullshit. You think I'm lying. 90 comedians on the list. And no audience members. Maybe 3 because they was at a show previously at the Creek in the Cave, and now they waiting for your ass. They just like, what else can we see? Because like Austin is really a city where you never know who could pop up. It's like a gamble. I done met Ron White twice downtown just walking between shows. That motherfucker, I thought Ron White was a homeless man, nigga. I thought a homeless man with nice white long hair was walking next to me. And I was like, oh shit, it's Ron White. And he spoke, I spoke, and then he just kept it putting. Nigga cool as fuck. But a lot of people go to Austin, comedians and audience members, because it's like, who can I see type shit. So you go to a Creek in the Cave late open mic, 12 o'clock. 90 comedians on the list. None of them in there because they waiting on their name to be called. They in the back smoking, trying to talk to the other famous comedians or whoever. Or just talking amongst themselves and shit, having a smoke break. It'll be 3 people that was at a previous show trying to see if they can see Cam or somebody else famous walk up on stage and work on some material to do a surprise drop in or whatever the fuck. That's your audience. Now, you got to sit around and listen to 3 hours of some terrible shit. Now, mind you, there's good comedians and bad comedians telling terrible shit because it's an open mic. They trying to see what works and what don't. And then a lot of people don't know how to perform when it ain't a crowd enough. How many times I had to perform for comedians at Creek in the Cave? And I don't get me wrong, I did a bunch of shows up there, like actual shows and shit. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, okay, I thought my shit had cut off. My fault. But yeah. So it's a cool experience. It's not all that bad, bro. That's some of the shit you have to deal with. Terrible open mics sometimes, but that's part of the game too. I stopped going to open mics because I'm a stupid motherfucker that like to try new jokes on paid shows. Cause like you do it long enough, you can kind of tell what can work, where and when, and you just sometimes you just be like, fuck it. If it don't work, bro, I've seen plenty, bro. One of my OGs, Vince D, OG comedian, dog. He did a comedy show down here. He went up there with a notebook paper with his jokes he wanted to try out, and he sat down and he was like, "Look, some of this shit gonna be funny, some of it's not, but I'm finna run through these and we gonna see what hit." That is a professional comedian. That's a motherfucker that been doing it a long time. Like, hey, we here. New comedians be like, man, I gotta be funny 24 hours. I gotta, fuck, man, we gotta, shit. This gotta work. Bro, just be funny. That be the thing. So, like, that's kind of where I'm at with it. It's like, man, I'm finna try something new. I had a show in Dallas. Me and my girl drove down there. I think I had her drive because I had a joke I wanted to write on the way there. I had this thought, and I thought it'd be funny, and I wrote this, like, 15-ish minute joke. This is the only time I ever told it. And I'm still trying to get that footage because I think that's the best I would ever set up and tell that joke. But I want that footage because I was going to put it out, but I'll figure that out. But anyway, I wrote, it took me like, the whole car ride was like 2.5 hours. Like, I spent that time working on this joke and trying to structure it. And I think I did 30 minutes. The last half of my set was just that joke. And it worked out. It was good, man. And that's what it is. That's what this comedy shit is. Like, when you really get into the weeds of it. A lot of these people are doing it because they think they're gonna be Cam Patterson or Cameron Illig or William Montgomery or fucking what's my boy name? Korean dude. I can't believe I can't think of his name right. Hans. Like, they think that they're gonna go and, like, cause they're funny in their hometown a little bit, or they want to be funny, and they think that their life is gonna change. All they gotta do is sign up for Kill Tony. And don't get me wrong, it's possible, bro. It's possible. It's possible. Yeah, that's part of the reason why I went out there, to kind of see what I can do to further my career. Cause that's what it's all about, bro. It's for people that do it. Like, a lot of people say, sorry for these tangents and shit, but I'm gonna get back on topic. But a lot of people say, like, and I used to be this person too, because I'm an artist, bro. Like, the first thing I started drawing, as soon as I could pick up a pencil, my parents recognized I had an artistic talent. I draw, I edit videos, I film, I make music. I haven't made music in a minute, but make beats or produce, because it's not just making beats, but producing, rapping, singing. And I'm good at it all. Like, I don't say that to boast or brag, but like, I'm proud of myself about that shit. Cause I'm proud of myself now, but at first it was just like, I like to do this shit and I'm good at it. So, drawing, making music, filming, all kind of little things, clothing design, all that shit. Hey, it's videos on my YouTube channel of me just, like, not even my best filmmaking, but just like a certain type of filmmaking I like to do. And I want to do more of it. I just can't, life ain't where I need it to be to do all of this shit. But, I forgot my point, gang. Anyway, I don't know. I don't remember my point is. Y'all let me know in the comments some shit, whatever point I abandoned. But yeah, Austin is not the worst place for comedy. The good things about it, she said, do not move there or think you need Austin to be successful in comedy. You don't need it to be successful in comedy, because you can really essentially become successful wherever you at. Look at Nanny Maw, my dog, Kyle Kidd. He has his character Nanny Maw on TikTok. Look up NANNYMAW on TikTok. I won't say nothing else. Look at the follow account. we had him perform as as himself and Nanny Ma at the comedy club here, and damn near packed this bitch out. But go look, and he's in Arkansas, gang. I met him doing open mic here at a place that I shall not name. If shit hadn't happened in the past how it did, I would have named the place. But now, since motherfuckers want to be petty, you don't get no free publicity from me. So, it is what it is. If you know, you know. But I met Kyle at that place that I used to go do open mics at, and motherfucker was driving from Arkansas to come do these open mics, and then like his TikTok following is crazy. So yeah, you can do it from anywhere if you just. It's possible to do it. The probability depends on a lot of different factors. Cause shit, I'm trying to make it work for myself, and it's just certain shit I won't do, and certain shit I've tried to do that I wouldn't normally do, and it doesn't work. So it makes me not want to do it even more. So I'm gonna figure it out. That's why I try to come over here on YouTube and talk to y'all as much as I can. But life's just been crazy. But anyway, you don't have to be in Austin to make it in comedy. You can get your own shit. You can make your own shit happen. That's a whole nother video of just like describing how to make comedy work for you in your hometown as a start, as a catapult to get good. Remind me to make that video, bro. I'm gonna forget, but remind me, please. But yeah, you don't need Austin to be successful, but Austin is a good place to go for comedy. And I think I made, because I wasn't trying to make a long video with that Why I Left Austin video, and a lot of that shit was like halfway joking. A lot of shit, there were serious points for sure. Like the overarching point was serious. But if you can make it out there if you're not a dick sucker. I've almost made it out there several fucking times, and I ain't sucked nan dick, and I never will. So, Austin can be good because you got like Cap City. Shout out to all the people at Cap City. Several of the people, somebody that works up there, I met through the Kill Tony signups. And look, everybody I met that worked for Kill Tony, has been nothing but respectful towards me. There is some shit that I can't speak on that happened to a partner of mine that I do not agree with. And we ain't gonna talk about it. But other than that, there's a lot of good people in that city attached to comedy. I didn't get a chance to meet Rebecca at Creek, but I know a lot of people. I've gotten to know a lot of people that work there, whether they be comedians or door guys or the bartenders. Poor Choices, one of my homegirls, bro, like real good friend of mine. She worked at the bar at Poor Choices. She never worked during Mondays, but the nights when we be out doing comedy shows and shit, I go in there. She showed love, bro. Miggs out at the Cut and all the other fucking shit he on, bro. It's a lot of people out there. It's good people out there. If you want to know, if you think about going out there. And you want to know kind of like some places to go that's like real chill, I got you. I'll let you know, bro. It's a lot of shit is out of sight, out of mind. A lot of time I be forgetting people's names and shit, but like if I see them, it's love. So if I forgot to mention you in that video or this one, just know, bro, it ain't no thing. I ain't forget about you. I just my brain. It's not my heart, it's my brain. But anyway, Cap City Comedy Club. They have an open mic. I believe it's on Tuesdays. It's away from 6th Street, but if you drive out there, bro, 30 minutes, 40 in the traffic, but get out there early. It's in the Domain, which is a very nice place if you got money. But Cap City is cool. Roscoe's Comedy Club. Shout out to y'all. I love them. That's one of my favorite places out there, bro. Velveeta Room with Pat and Michael, and god damn, what's his name, bro? Oh man, he gonna kill me for not remember his name, but Pat, Mike, God damn it. I gotta text Pat and see what his name is. But Velveeta Room, another great place. If you want to do comedy in Austin, but you don't like what's going on with the comedy mothership, you don't have to go, bro. Sunset Strip, shout out to Red Band. Red Band has been nothing but cool with me, bro. We've had a few conversations in person, not in person. Bro, like, the shit out there was cool. It's just, there was a lot of shit on the business side and the come up side that I could not fuck with. Like, I did not understand. I could not sit there, and I was going crazy. And that's another video I got to do, just like my mental state because of how shit seems to be going. Like, I ain't gonna get on another tangent because we already 40 minutes in. But yeah, dog, like, it's one of them situations where it's like a catch-22. Like, no matter how much I try to avoid bullshit over here and trying to go to the positive and the only thing that's gonna make sense, the more I tried to go this way, this shit would always meet me there. Like, ask my girl, ask some of my friends, bro. It's just like, for a motherfucker that want to be left alone for a majority of the time and just do the shit that he's good at and wants to do, I find myself in a lot of bullshit not on purpose. But yeah, man, like, subscribe, help me out. I'm doing videos like this because I'm trying to do shit that's like real personal and connect with y'all, and also like trying to be okay with shit not being perfect because I'm an artist and everything gotta. But yeah, bro. Shout out to the hating ass people that don't know what they talking about. Please watch that video. I think it's called Y'all Gotta Stop, because y'all just be saying crazy shit and y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Yeah, bro. Be cool. Hug your mama. Happy Thanksgiving if I don't see y'all before. You feel me? If this is my last video until after Thanksgiving, because I got to go fucking Houston tomorrow. Oh, God damn. Damn. All right, man. Be cool.